A man who burns cannot see through the smoke. Anger does not enter with permission. It breaks the door, sets fire to what was whole, devours reason like dry wood, leaves behind only ash where once there was a clear path. It is the cheapest trick the mind plays on itself, a brief illusion of strength while secretly binding the hands of its master. In the noise of modern life, anger thrives like a parasite. Screens glow with provocation. Words fling like daggers through glowing windows. A stranger's opinion becomes a blade pressed to the throat. The mind, so eager to defend itself, flares into rage to protect what never needed protecting. A word, a look, a silence that feels like disrespect. Each a match struck too close to dry timber. Desire feeds it. The desire to be right. The desire to be above. The desire to matter more than the next man. And when that desire is denied, when the world forgets to kneel, the spark ignites. Pride trembles, ego screams, the body stiffens for a fight. And yet what is there to defend? What kingdom is so fragile that a stranger's careless tongue can ruin it? Seneca saw the storm in the blood. He knew the tremor in the chest that calls itself righteous, but leaves only wreckage. The wise see anger not as a fire to be fed, but as a fire to be watched, contained until it dies from starvation. Anger, unchecked, is a masterless slave. Anger, restrained, is fuel for clarity. Resentment is a cheap armor that rusts from the inside. In every man lives a spark, but not every spark deserves to become flame. What happens in that moment between the sting and the response defines whether a man is ruled by himself or by the noise of others. To stand still while the insult dances around the ears, this is not weakness. It is a fortress built from discipline. The world sees only the silence, but inside that silence is a battle won without spilling a drop of blood. Most men are children inside, easily poked, easily baited. They bark their secrets at those who feed off weakness. A sharp word, an eye rolled, a slight to the pride, and the trap is sprung. Now the puppet dances. The fool reveals himself. But the one who does not rise to anger becomes a ghost to those who would bait him. The hook passes through smoke. The insult floats away, unanchored. There is exhaustion in constant defense. To be angry is to be chained to the moods of others. To surrender calm for the poison of wrath is to hand over the keys to the soul's only true home. The Stoic holds the gate. The Stoic watches the spark and does not breathe life into it. In the quiet between heartbeat and reaction lives freedom. The moment before the mouth opens, the space before the fists clench, the second before the voice rises. There, right there, is where mastery lives. To lose that moment is to lose the self. To keep it is to keep the self whole. The modern mind is taught to react, to be quick, sharp, savage in reply, to clap back, to get the last word, to win battles that do not matter. But what is won? A point scored in a game without a scorekeeper. The cost is heavy. A mind made restless. A night spent replaying words. A heart chained to the echo of petty wounds. A man who never gets angry is not empty. He is full of something deeper. There is a difference between the dead soul and the disciplined soul. The dead soul feels nothing because it is numb. The disciplined soul feels everything and chooses what to serve. Anger is not banished because it is evil, but because it is useless. A hammer swung at shadows. Comparison feeds it too. To see another rise where envy says one should not. To see another loved where pride says one should be ignored. And so anger grows fat on the scraps of other people's lives. A mind that watches, judges, calculates who deserves what. This is a mind that stabs itself over and over. Seneca would smile at the fool who spills his peace for things that do not exist tomorrow. Overthinking. This, too, is kindling. The endless rehearsal of past slights, the imaginary arguments won in the echo chamber of the mind. Anger so often is a ghost resurrected by memory. A word said years ago, a look given and never forgotten, a betrayal replayed until it rots. The wise man buries his ghosts in silence. He lets the grave stay undisturbed. The restless man digs up the bones every night. And in this exhaustion, the soul begins to fracture. Identity becomes tangled in defending itself. The self shrinks until it is only a bundle of wounds, raw to the touch, forever searching for a reason to explode. But what is a man if he is only what others can provoke? If he is nothing but the echo of an insult? A kingdom so easily taken is no kingdom at all. So what does it mean to never get angry again? It means to see the spark and not worship the flame. It means to feel the sting and not let it write the story. It means to stand at the gate of the mind and refuse entry to every stray dog that barks. It means to let others burn themselves while remaining untouchable. It means to use the heat for something that endures. Discipline, courage, understanding. The fire inside does not have to rage outward. It can forge steel instead. Imagine walking through a world where noise tries to own every waking thought, where every comment, every glance, every careless driver, every rude stranger, every unfair outcome wants a piece of calm. Imagine walking through it untouchable. The storms rage around the fortress, but do not breach the walls, because the walls are built from restraint. A man who cannot be angered cannot be owned. He stands apart, not because he is cold, but because he is warm in places the world cannot reach. His dignity is not on the auction block. His mood is not up for trade. His peace is not rented to fools. This is not a man who lacks feeling. This is a man who has mastered feeling. Some think Stoicism is about killing the heart. But it is about keeping the heart alive where it matters. It is about choosing which fires deserve fuel and which should die in silence. It is about refusing to be another torch in a world already burning itself to ash. There will always be those who spit poison, who scratch at the door, hoping to stir the beast inside. The Stoic lets them scratch, lets them grow tired. The beast stays asleep because the master does not need to feed it. And in that quiet, the provocateur withers. There is no fight to win because the fight never begins. One day the voice will tremble. One day the insult will strike deep. One day the memory will claw at the mind when sleep refuses to come. Even then, the gate can hold. Anger is not always defeated forever. It must be defeated again and again, moment by moment, insult by insult. But every moment won strengthens the mind's grip on its own reins. Seneca did not promise a life without wounds. He promised that wounds do not have to become weapons turned inward. The world cannot be tamed, but the self can be. The fools cannot be silenced, but the mind can be deaf to their noise. There is no trophy for the man who roars the loudest. There is only ruin. But for the man who learns to hush the storm before it breaks, there is peace no one can break. There is dignity no insult can buy. There is an inner empire that stands while others crumble. And when the end comes, when the body fails, when the final insult is life itself slipping away, anger will have no place. What did it ever build? What did it ever protect? What was ever gained by letting the fire consume what little time was given? The final silence is waiting for everyone. Let it find a mind unburdened by petty flames. Let it find a soul unburned by its own sparks. Let it find a man who learned at last that mastery is not in the roar, but in the hush that follows. A hush that echoes forever.